Hello and welcome to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Cardano and targets I think it could hit in the next bullish cycle if we double bottom here. So I wanted to really show you guys this coin specifically because it is one that has been long forgotten. In 2018 when it was announced, it pumped very quickly after it got announced and added to exchanges. If we switch off the log chart, we went all the way up to the $1.31 level and fell back down to the 2-cent level. So we're talking about a pretty gnarly rise on the upside and drop back down on the downside, but we are pretty used to this type of move in crypto. So before we kind of get into the episode here, we'll go ahead and start with the intro. All right, so first and foremost, I want to mention that Cardano is an altcoin that has retraced over 90% in value. So if we take our price change up here on the left-hand side and move down, we can see that Cardano fell close to 97% on the downside. Now, if you actually study what happened to internet stocks in the last internet bubble, what people like to call it. If you look at what Amazon did, Amazon retraced like 93% after its first cycle. There's a lot of different companies that pumped really hard in the internet bubble, but then just retraced over 90%. So when I see something like this in cryptocurrency, I don't jump the gun to be ultimately bearish or become a perma bear in this scenario. In fact, I am long-term bullish on a lot of the cryptocurrencies and a lot of the crypto market as a whole. When I look at Cardano here, I'm looking for double bottom patterns, accumulation patterns, and reversal patterns, because after a drop like that, we are actually looking at a highly undervalued asset. So with Cardano specifically, I do see a couple patterns forming here. There is the well-known 1, 2, 3, 4 bottom formation, or 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that I made a video about way back in the day. But even if we don't want to call it a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, we could just call it a double bottom pattern. And what a double bottom is when we have a bottom form right here where we make this low, and then we bounce on the upside, we find a resistance point, and then we come back down to this bottom again. So it's retesting that bottom. Now this is, if you're doing a 1, 2, 3 bottom, you can label this as the 1. Right here, you can label this as the 1. And then you label the next one as the 2. So we'll just clone this, slide it up, drop it, and put 2. And then we can put clone, pull this down, and we'll put 3. Now, it's a confirmed pattern when you actually break above the resistance of the 2. So that 2 wave, or that wave up to the 2 level, creates quite a bit of resistance. The market has tested all of this resistance right here that used to be support along the way down, and it rejected off of that and came back down to that major support level. Now, it is possible that Cardano falls through this support level and continues on a bearish cycle. Do I think that that's what is more probable right now? No, I think the more probable outcome is that we do start to pick up and round out right here to start to head towards this 2 level. But just being aware of both scenarios is important for your trading plan. Right now, if you are trying to get into Cardano, you can actually buy with a pretty tight stop loss, because for it to make a new low, it would have to fall over 20%. So that means if you're going long on Cardano right now, you can expect potentials of 180% gains. You could even be getting, 900 or 1,000% gains if this 1, 2, 3 bottom plays out. But if it doesn't play out, you're only losing 10 to 20% in the market. So the risk to reward ratio is in a great spot for Cardano right now. Now, this is also a pretty standard accumulation cycle here. And we'll just go ahead and take the corrective wave and we'll draw an A, B, C. And then this, in my opinion, is our 1 and our 2 wave. So I'll take our 1 and our 2 wave right here. So if we go ahead and compare this, we'll duplicate our tab here and pull up Bitcoin as well for you guys. You will actually see a lot of similarities between Cardano and the 2015 Bitcoin cycle. Now, what I love about what's happening to the altcoin markets right now is that they are looking like early Bitcoin days. So this means that although I still recommend keeping a major percentage of your portfolio in Bitcoin and keeping a large percentage in Bitcoin, the dominance of Bitcoin over the long term may not be as sustainable. On the short term and the midterm, dominance might keep pretty high right now, but in the long term, as altcoins grow, the dominance will naturally decrease as more projects come out, as different things happen. Now, what I would like to show you right here and with Bitcoin right now, we're not going to look at what's going on currently with Bitcoin, although I do love these downward channels. We're going to go ahead and remove all drawing tools, and we're going to check out what happened to Bitcoin in its last cycle. Now, let's look at the similarities here between Cardano and Bitcoin, because we can actually find a lot of similarities in their cycles. So as we can see, this ABC correction forms, ABC correction, and then you get a bullish engulfing move where the bulls take back over. What happened right here with Cardano? We get a bullish engulfing move where the bulls took back over, and then we come back down to test that support that it made. So it's making that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and it breaks out of that bottom and starts its way on its uptrend. So this is very similar to the pattern that we're seeing Cardano. It's also a similar pattern that we're seeing in Ethereum, which if you guys want me to make a video about Ethereum, I will do that tomorrow. If you guys comment down below and say, Dallin, please make an Ethereum update, I'll make one for you guys. But yeah, this is Cardano. I'm really loving the chart pattern. I'm really loving the similarities to Bitcoin. So let's talk about what could happen with potential price targets. In the next cycle, if it follows the same kind of pattern structure that we are seeing with Bitcoin, it can go above its previous all-time high. Again, with Cardano, we retraced about 97%. With Bitcoin, I believe we retraced about 85. So it wasn't quite as intense as the drop as in Cardano, but that could be a good thing for the long term for Cardano. Like I said, Amazon fell over 90% in its first cycle after the internet bubble. Now this right here is what came after the cycle in Bitcoin. So if we compare this type of move, we could easily see, 1,000, 3,000% gains, 5,000% gains in the future for Cardano as it starts another bullish market. And this is caused by many things. The possibility of this is caused by many things. But the main thing that we want to point out is inflation. And when fiat currencies just continue to get printed like it's the end of the world, then obviously alternatives to fiat will start to win over in their value. And that's what cryptocurrency gives, is deflationary currencies that are of limited supply rather than infinite supplies. And that's why we see cryptocurrencies creating these big long-term bullish trends like what Bitcoin is doing and what Bitcoin has done in the past. So if you guys liked this video, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Comment down below if you have any questions at all. Join my Discord group. Links are in the description as well. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. If you guys request that I make one, go ahead and let me know if you want me to cover Ethereum in tomorrow's video. And I will see you guys in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.